What is up, YouTube? It's RSMario here, bringing you another Pokemon Scarlet and Violet video. Alright, so we got a pretty interesting Pokemon video for you today. So news has been slow, but the pace is quickening a little bit. You know what I'm saying? We got some Twitter stuff. Riddler Q dropped a poll a while back. We've got Centro Pokemon Leaks came back from the dead. He pulled a Ganondorf out this piece. You know what I'm saying? So he's back, and you know, we're gonna see what they're talking about. We also have a little bit of a leak about a potential Pokemon Presents coming up in the next week or so. You know, take that one with kind of a grain of salt. As well as it appears that some Kaka style pictures of the DLC seem to be popping up from various Twitter accounts. So we're going to talk about that as well. So, of course, if you would like to see more videos like this from me, like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell button, do all that good stuff that YouTube requires you to do to continue getting videos from me, as well as follow me at twitter.com/rsmario128 and my second channel, The Loot Box Hero, where I talk about everything else that is not Nintendo and anime. Let's get on into the news. Alright, so we got kind of a lot of news today. I will try to breeze through as quick as I possibly can. So first off, we got Riddler Q. Riddler Q dropped a poll basically asking, what do you think is the true relationship between the two turtle thingies, or basically the two turtle Pokemon? Basically Terapagos and whatever the new little turtle is that they dropped on the anime. So some people said that it was a Carbink Diancie situation. Personally, I don't even remember what the relationship between those two were. It's been so long since I thought about freaking Diancie and Carbink. It's just crazy. Some people say it's a form change. Personally, I don't think that's the case, because I think that the little turtle looks kind of basic. Like, you know, like an evolution. Like, a lot of people are saying it's a family line. It doesn't look like a different form of the same Pokemon. But again, you look at something like Shaman to Shaman Air form, and yeah, so it could be. I could be wrong. Then the other one was Family Line. That's the one I voted for myself. You know, and a lot of people think that's what it is. That one, like the little one, evolves into the you know, Terapagos. And some people say it's like some core cell stuff. And personally, I don't think that's it, because the little turtle is way too designed to be a cell or a piece of something. Like, you can tell that the little Zygrade cells are not like full Pokemon. You know what I'm saying? This is a full Pokemon. Alright, so personally, I put that I think that it's more like these guys. And, you know, I put in there Manaphy and Fiona. You know what I'm saying? I think it's more of a situation like that. You know, I think that's the relationship that these two have. So next up, we have some pictures from the DLC. We've got some placeholder boxes. So somebody's gone into like a Japanese game store, and there's some placeholder boxes for if you want to get like physical, you know, certificate for the DLC. And usually how this works is they'll give you like a card that's got a code on it. Like, you scratch off the code and you put the code in, and that's the DLC. So you just pay for that card and you just hold it. Personally, if it's a DLC, just buy it digitally. You know what I'm saying? And these are placeholder boxes. As far as information, it doesn't really have anything new from what I've seen. I've seen some translations, and it seems like pretty much information that we already know. Speaking of DLC leaks, we have some Kaka-ish leaks. Some possible return of the infamous leaker Kaka. So Ami at Japan has been dropping these weird kind of Kaka-ish screenshots. And if you don't remember Kaka, he was the one that basically blew up the Pokemon leak community with his leaks. You know what I'm saying? Now, personally, I prefer Riddler Q leaks because they're interesting. They give you something to think about trying to solve these riddles. Even though we still ain't solved that damn AI riddle yet, but, you know, it is what it is. But these are interesting too, though. And Kaka's, you know, his leaks were basically like a zoomed in screenshot that a blur was put on. And that's essentially what these are. And so this could be, again, some leaks from the DLC, or these could be fakes. Because, I mean, how would you have the DLC now? You know what I'm saying? Like, how would you have, like, this is not like downloading the game. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a little different. So, I mean, unless it's like insider leaks, you know what I'm saying? How would you have this, you know? The other one that really kind of gives me pause with this is these blue ones. Now, these could be some upgrade to the Pokemon League, or this could be some like battle tower type of situation. Otherwise, this is probably Blueberry Academy. I mean, because it does have the same kind of color scheme that Blueberry Academy had. And I mean, it's one thing to have some of the stuff from Teal Mask, but how would you get the Blueberry Academy DLC stuff now? You know what I'm saying? That would be, I don't know. It's interesting. It's interesting. Now, if they are both still launching this year, maybe they are developing them both at the same time. So I don't know. That's interesting. So the next thing we have here is Centro Pokemon leaks. He says on CG World interview, Creatures Incorporated have confirmed that for this generation, all Pokemon animations have been redone in 60 frames per second and may be used in future games. Here is a sample of that sweet, sweet smoothness. And so he drops some little video clips of the 60 frames per second Pokemon animations. Personally, to me, I'm not a graphics whore when it comes to Pokemon. I mean, because it's Pokemon. You know what I'm saying? I would like the games to look better, but I'm not like a massive graphics whore when it comes to this game. You know what I'm saying? I mean, they could make the animations and designs a bit better. We do know that there has been some shakeups at Creatures Incorporated. I reported in my other news video that Ishihara is gone, so he left Creatures Incorporated. You can read that full story at my news video. On my news video, there are timestamps in the description, so you can look at any other stories you want on that video. And then, of course, he drops a little tidbit on the way out saying, oh, and remember to have $400 or so ready to buy Nintendo's next generation console before even dreaming of seeing these live for yourself. And he says you still have months to save. So basically insinuating that the system's going to come out this year. Again, that is a bit of a stretch. It's possible, but it's kind of a stretch. So I talked about in other videos how I do think we're going to get an announcement this year. I think they're probably going to announce it this year, and maybe it'll drop, you know, second quarter next year, kind of like springish, like the Switch did initially. I mean, because again, the fact that they're having a live event this year for the first time since Space World in 2001, you know what I'm saying, or whatever last time we had a Space World. So since they're doing that, means that they probably have something pretty big up their sleeves. Then we have Matt, a data miner. He says in Scarlet and Violet, in Scarlet and Violet 1.3.0, Game Freak has deleted even more Pokedex entries. In addition to all the entries from the last week, the following have also been removed. That's the Unova starters, the Kalos starters, Carbink, and the Galar starters, which means that we're probably getting Embor back, which that saddens me greatly. But yeah, so essentially what this means is back in Sword and Shield, they deleted Pokédex entries from Sword and Shield for Pokemon that they were about to reintroduce in the DLC. And so Matt, who is a data miner who saw that stuff that happened last time in Sword and Shield, says it's happening again in Scarlet and Violet. So he has a whole list on his Twitter. I'm not going to go through the list because I don't want to take too much time. But essentially, there's a lot of Pokemon coming back, including like Gen 1 starters and, you know, some of the legendaries. But we still won't have all the Pokemon back. But a lot more Pokemon seem to be dropping in the DLCs coming out. So the next one we have here, we have Hot Girl 69. Hot Girl Videos 69. So this is probably one of my favorite Twitter accounts because they've had some very interesting, very interesting leaks in the past. In the past, they talk about the potential of Nintendo buying Stadia as a white label product. I had to go and figure out what that meant. So I actually learned something from doing these videos. So you can check that video out. A lot of his rumors are very insider, very business centric. So whoever this person is, they probably know their stuff. And he says, with increased focus on the touchscreen and stylus mobile connectivity of the next Nintendo Switch console, there is work to bring more mobile developers like Zynga into the fold, with new versions of games like Draw Something and a potential relaunch of Ayakashi Ghost Guild. Additional comment I forgot to add is that there's a rumor that Zynga is looking to potentially reboot older / outdated acquired properties from a decade ago, like Montepia. The rumor continued. Source also mentioning that one of the confirmed developers to have access to the new Nintendo Switch hardware is King, aka Activision, of Activision of Microsoft fame nowadays. The developers of Candy Crush Saga and etc. King was developing a game / system for their games to utilize an acquired AI from Peltreon, which I don't know what that means, for matchmaking based on player stats and abilities and unique solo multiplayer gameplay. And Nintendo Switch versions of classic King properties will probably use this. So this is interesting. All right. I mean, again, more Super Nintendo Switch news from a very interesting source. I believe this King rumor is real because if I'm not mistaken, Zynga and King were two of the developers that Bloomberg back in the day. Remember the Bloomberg article? It always comes back to Bloomberg. They said back in the day that these two were two of the ones that actually were getting dev kits. Two of the, I think, 10 or 7 companies that already had dev kits. So that is interesting. So then we're going on over to definitely a possible fake leak territory with 4chan. So they said that there's going to be a Pokemon news drop or possibly Pokemon Presents on the 2nd of May. They said we're going to get some Pokemon Go Fest summer information, locations like New York, Tokyo, and Madrid, a shiny Gumi debut, as well as information on Pokemon Sleep. But the big stuff come right here. So, Ogre Pond, new Pokemon for the DLC. Grass Ghost, new ability, which everybody kind of suspected all of that. Cryolization phenomenon, which looks to make a new form without the hat, seems to be specific to type. So basically, that is our Terra form, the new Terra form that everybody's been talking about. It's weird that he said cryo, because cryo actually deals with ice. So Monkey Dory is the ironic Pokemon. Just ironic just how bad that Pokemon is. Okidogi is the brute Pokemon. Pheasantipity is the acute Pokemon. And Terralit, which I think is the little turtle, is the glimmering Pokemon. New TMs for new and old moves. So I'm guessing moves that are not in the game, they're going to get brought into the game as TMs. An event at the Pokemon League right after the trailer deals with Walking Wake and Iron Leaves. So that's pretty cool. Then he says that home updates are going to drop on the 12th. Connectivity with Scarlet and Violet. And there's an event about Iron, Valiant, and Roaming Moon with a special mark. So that's all pretty good. That's about it. I mean, that looks pretty stable as far as a 4chan leak. I mean, a lot of that stuff we kind of expected. I mean, it didn't give us too much information on Monkey Dory, Okidogi, or Pheasantipity. But that's about it. So I wanted to just drop some new news for you. What do you think? Tell me down in the comments down below. And I've got some other Zelda videos I've been cooking up. So watch this space, like, comment, subscribe, and as always, people, keep it real.